ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमतो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Chit being extrovert, chitaha chetyonmukhatvam. The extrovertedness towards the Vishayas of the Chaitanya itself is the sprout of desire. And this sprout or Chaitanya becoming extrovert even for a little while, it goes on getting intensified and samsara starts. Read 179, Mahopanisad, 5th chapter, 179.
लेशतः प्राप्तसत्ताकः स एव घनतां शनैः याति चित्तत्वमापूर्य दृढं जाड्याय मेघवत्
सः लेशतः प्राप्तसत्ताकः एव शनैः चित्तत्वम् आपूर्य दृढं घनतां याति जाड्याय मेघवत्. The Patantara Jalyaya, Jadyaya is correct. Jadyaya Meghavat. Saha, that one. What is that one? The earlier verse. Sankalpankuraha. The sprout of Sankalpa, desire, which is Chit becoming extrovert toward the Vishayas. This Sankalpankuraha. Leshataha prapta sattaka has got a very little existence, not strong, very minor existence. Sattaka. What happens? Eva, not grown, little existence has gone. What does it do? Shanaihi, slowly, slowly. Chittattvam apurya. Covers the entire Chaitanya Swarupa in terms of ignorance. Of course, Started with ignorance in terms of the effect of ignorance. Chit Tattvam Apurya. Having covered totally the true nature of Chaitanya, Dridam Ghanatam Yati gets very much densified. Dridam, that is intensely, gets densified like Jadya, Jadyaya Meghavat, like the clouds becoming dense. You know, clouds are nothing but water vapors, but they become dense mass and pour the water. So that way, started a little, like, even fire. Fire should never be neglected. Even a spark is enough to get transferred to conflagration. Like that, here, started a little like a spark only. But this chittasya chetyonmukhata, extrovertedness of Chaitanya, gets solidified into a huge, what is that? Desire, and it gets deeply rooted. Then what happens? Let us continue.
भावयन्ति चितिश्चैत्यं व्यतिरिक्तमिवात्मनः सङ्कल्पतामिवायाति बीजमङ्कुरतामिव
Iti chaityam atmanaha vyatiriktam iva bhavayanti sankalpatamiva ayati bijam ankuratam iva. Vichiti, Vichiti, which has become Chetyonmukha, which is endowed with Sankalpa Bija, Sankalpa Ankura. Vichiti is Sankalpa Ankura, which is endowed with Sankalpa Ankura. Chaityam, the sense object, the drishya, Atmana Vyatiriktam Bhavayanti. Bhavayanti, thinking, considering, Atmana Vyatiriktam. This sense object is something distinct from me and I want it. There is no question of desiring yourself, you have. Whatever that is distinct from me and whatever that I don't have, that is to be taken to. So therefore, Atmana Vyatiriktam Bhavayanti, considering different from oneself, Sankalpatam Iva Ayati. It gets transformed in the form of Sankalpa, desire, or Manovyapara. How Bijam Ankuratam Iva, like a seed sprouts. Seed, when in water, soil, etc., it sprouts. So like this very extrovertedness of the chit towards the Vishaya Chaitya gains the status of Sankalpa, desire, or Manovyapar, or what you call as Vishaya Chintana. Vishaya Chintana. Continue.
संकल्पनं हि संकल्पः स्वयमेव प्रजायते वर्धते स्वयमेवाशु दुःखाय न सुखाय यत्
Sankalpanam hi sankalpaha. Add tat swayameva prajayati. Yat swayameva ashu dukkhaya vardati. Na sukhaya. Sankalpanam means Vishaya Chintanam, mind thinking of the sense object. Itself is what? Sankalpaha, desire. Desire, nothing but desiring. Mind always thinking of the Vishaya itself is Dhyayato Vishayan Pusa Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama. Without Vishaya Dhyana, what is that? Asakti, Sangha. Asakti, Preeti for Vishaya doesn't take place. And when this Sangha takes place, Sangat Sanjayate Kama. No objects will what? Fascinate you unless you have a value for it. You have a Preeti, liking for it. Otherwise, in the world, there are innumerable objects. You don't get attracted by all. You get attracted by a specific object or being. And it the one's object of choice, the object or being of one's choice, maybe an object of revulsion for someone else. It is personal values, personal attraction. That's all. In fact, there is nothing beautiful or ugly. It is your view. Sankalpanam hi sankalpaha. Vishaya chintana, brooding over the sense object, itself becomes the desire. And what does it do? Tat. That's sankalpana. Swayameva prajayate. Once the sankalpa is there, that desire, sankalpa, is born on its own. Because asakti, preeti is there, desire is automatically born. Not only born, yat, that sankalpa, desire born, swayameva ashu dukkhaya vardate. Swayameva, on its own, ashu, quickly, dukkhaya vardate. It grows only to give you sorrow, na sukhaya, not to give you joy. Everything is centered here only. It is very difficult to get convinced because for a common man, desire is a friend. For a jnani, it is an enemy. because value structures differ. See, so desire appears to be desirable, but truly not so, because they increase your sorrow and not the joy. This you have to find out yourself. You have to do homework. Find out. In the entire history of humanity, not now only, in the entire history of humanity, was there a single person who became totally happy, perfectly happy by desiring Vishayas, sense pleasures? Find out. Ransack all Puranas. Go through Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavata. Of course, Bhagavad is Purana only. It has got a special status. So find out. Is there any single person? And yet, it is difficult for us to accept this fact. Even if known that it is true, there is no courage to live up to it. As a result, samsara continues. Vedanta is not some scripture of giving you solace. It is not psychotherapy. It has to unfold itself. It has to unfold your swarupa, for which we have to be eligible. Among the eligibilities, the first and foremost is this curbing the sankalpa, curbing the Vishaya Chintana by educating the mind, by making the Viveka grow. So when Viveka is strong, Vairagya does. If no Viveka, Vairagya cannot get the strength. Because you have to get convinced that Vishayas are incapable of giving me joy. So therefore, this Sankalpana, which is Sankalpankura, born of Vishayonukha Chitta Chit. Vishayonukha Chit. Of course, it functions through Chittam Antakarana only. So it is only for sorrow and not joy. Therefore, Nidaga, please take to this. Continue.
Ma sankalpaya sankalpam, ma bhavam bhavayastitau, sankalpanashane yatto, na bhuyo nanugacchati.
Sankalpam ma sankalpaya. Ma bhavam bhavaya. Ma bhavam bhavaya sitau. Sankalpanashane yattaha. Na bhuya ananugacchati. Sankalpam ma sankalpaya. Please do not entertain the Vishaya Chintana or desire. Please do not entertain Vishaya Chintana or desire. Sthitau bhavam ma bhavaya means don't ascribe any reality to sankalpa. Sthiti. Something called sankalpa, desire is truly in there. Thus, don't ascribe any reality. Sthitau means sankalpa sthitau, for its existence. Bhavam ma bhavaya. Don't think, don't go on thinking of it so that it becomes firmly rooted. Don't do that. Yattaha. Yattaha means the one who has resolved firmly for what? Sankalpanashani. To destroy the sankalpa. Na bhuyaha ananugacchati. Again, doesn't pursue the vishayas. Elsewhere it is said, Kama janami te moolam sankalpati jayase. Oh desire, I know for certain your origin. You are born of sankalpa, vishaya chintana. Tasmat sankalpam na karomi. I will not entertain the sankalpa vishaya. So that is here told. So one should not take to this vishaya chintana. See, by vishaya chintana, what happens? You are doing two things which are not desirable. As a mumukshu, of course, as a mumukshu. Number one, you are ascribing more and more reality to that object, Vishaya. And you would like to have it for yourself, for your enjoyment. Thereby, you are deepening, you are strengthening your deha tadatmya, your identity with the body. So by Vishaya Bhoga, identifying the body and the reality of the Jagat becomes more and more deeply rooted. So that is why first casualty in Vedanta is identification with the body. This is an erroneous identification, wrong identification, source of samsara at the practical level. You can easily verify it. In waking and dream, we are identified with the bodies, whether gross, both, but subtle together, or only subtle in the dream. Sorrows are bound to be there. We are prone to be sorrow. In sleep, no identification of the gross and subtle body. No possibility of any sorrow at that time. It's clear. Sorrows emerge from where? Gross and subtle body. And Ananda, your Swarupa. That's why in sleep there is happiness. But we are not able to experience that at that time because of ignorance. There's a drawback. So therefore it shows that our Swarupa is Ananda. And the source of all sorrows is our gross and subtle body, which is the form of causal body in the sleep. Now think of it. Can we be gross and subtle body? No. They come and go. I am all the time there. And yet we mistake them to be us and suffer the sorrow of samsara. This is what Vedanta is, nothing but vichara, inquiry, scrutiny. You are not producing something. You are removing your erroneous notion. You are removing your erroneous notion. So therefore, the person viveki sankalpanashane yattaha, who has resolved firmly to get rid of the sankalpa, bhuyaha na ananugacchati, doesn't pursue the vishayas again, doesn't pursue them any further. That means the main culprit is who? Sankalpa or Vishaya Chintan. How to get rid of that? Simple. Don't take to Vishaya Chintana. Continue.
भावना भावमात्रेण संकल्पः क्षीयते स्वयं संकल्पेनैव संकल्पं मनसैव मनो मुने.
Your reading is Bhavana Bhava Matrena. Bhavananam Abhava Matrena. Bhavana Bhava Matrena. Take Anvaya. Sankalpaha Bhavana Bhava Matrena Swayam Kshiyate Mune. Mune. Now do one thing. Read the next line.
चित्वा स्वात्मनि तिष्ठत्वं किमेतावति दुष्करम्.
So take this now. Sankalpaha bhavana bhava matrena swayam kshiyate. Mune tvam. Next line. Tvam sankalpena eva sankalpam manasa eva manaha chitva swatmani tishtha etavata kim dushkaram. Etavata kim dushkaram. Says Sankalpa can be destroyed like this. Sankalpaha bhavana bhava matrena. Bhavana Vishaya Chintana. It's abhava matrena, means by not taking to Vishaya Chintana. by not thinking of the sense object, sense pleasures. What happens by that only? Sankalpaha swayam kshiyate. Sankalpa get destroyed on its own. You simply don't think of that. You did not do anything at all. If you think of that, more and more and more and more, you will dwell on it. And you'll get persecuted by the desire. It is just like, something is itching, you are going scratching. In some part of your body, if it itches, you scratch. You feel good about it. Again you start. Again you scratch. And you go to the extent of scratching, that blood comes. At times it happens. But best thing is, in the beginning, have little self-control. Bear the itching. It just goes. Unless, of course, some disease is there. So, that being the case, O Mune, Didaga, Tvam, you do this. Sankalpena eva sankalpam chitva manasa eva manachitva. Having cut asunder the sankalpa visheshana by what? Sankalpa. See, sankalpa has other meaning. By firm resolve. By firm resolve, stop visheshana. Educate the mind. It's wrong. There's nothing there except your imagination. And manasaya manaha chitva. By mind only having cut asunder the mind. Chitva, what you do? Swatmanitishta. Antakarana. Mind freed from Vishaya Chintana is the mind which is nirvikalpa, wherein our swarupa gets reflected in its real nature. So thereby, chitva swatmanitishta, abide in your swarupa. He says, etavati kim dushkaram. What great difficulty is there in this? And if at all difficulty is there, it is because of what? Our values for Vishayas. The wrong notion that the sense objects are capable of making me happy. This is the one which prompts. That is why Viveka is necessary. He says, what difficulty is there? Difficulty because you are not properly inquired into. Just inquire, you'll know that how it is. Simple. Nobody takes the source of it. Nobody takes anything that is the source of sorrow. This Vishaya Chinna is the cause of your samsara. Janma marana, janma marana, janma marana. Better get rid of it. See. Everyone, so long as the health is good, very happy with the body. Health deteriorates, especially in the old age. Body itself becomes a big burden. Big burden. Now, why did you order this body? Vishaya Bhoga. You may not know it. The very fact that we have taken birth means what? For Karma phala bhoga. Vishaya bhoga karma phala. Who earned that karma phala? You earned it. Now have it. The other day you have seen this fact. Is there any Vishaya bhoga, sense pleasure, you can enjoy without the physical body and the mind? Ever possible? No. You want Vishaya bhoga means you have already ordered gross and subtle body, the main source of sorrows. You have booked it. And afterwards, scream as samsara, samsara. That's why viveka and proper thinking is necessary. So therefore, there should not be any difficulty in getting rid of this Vishaya Chintana, whereby one can get rid of desires and discover our Swarup. Read Yathai Vedam, one line.
यथैवेदं नभः शून्यं जगच्छून्यं तथैव हि.
Now the question may come like this. Well, as you said, we get rid of this sankalp. We get rid of this Vishaya Chintana. But my dear sir, the world is there. The world is there. And it will catch me. You know that once Job, one Mr. John got a fixation, psychic, that he is a worm. And birds, etc., will pick him up, just swallow him. So he went to a psychiatrist. He gave the counsel. He brought a mirror and said, John, you are 6 footer. Worm is a small one. How can it be? And he was convinced that he is not a worm. So to make doubly sure, the psychiatrist asked, Mr. John, who are you now? I'm Mr. John, are you a worm? No, doctor, how can I be a worm? Paid the fees and went out. Next moment, he came running and banged in the cabin of the doctor. Doctor, please save me. Hey, what happened? You just now, you know that you are not a worm, but a John. Yes, doctor, even now I don't have a doubt. Then what? Does the cock knows that I am not a worm, but John? Does the cock, because there was a cock. Does the cock knows that I am not a worm, but a John? But Mr. John means still not gone. So like this here, see, I will not take to Sankalpa, but the Jagat is there. It will catch me. So no, Jagat is false in nature. Yatha eva idam nabha shunyam. Just as this space is empty. Don't take shunyam as non-existent. Empty, E-M-P-T-Y. Empty. Tatha eva hi jagat shunyam. Jagat shunyam. So also, the jagat is shunyam is what? There is no pith in the jagat. Asara. There is no essence in the Jagat. It's a false in nature. Reality is not there at all in the Jagat. It cannot do anything at all unless we give value to it and make it bind us. So, fixation has not gone, and I know I am John, but whether the cock knows that I am not a worm and John, but I am a John, like that. So, this wrong evaluation should go. Jagat shunyam tatha evai. The Jagat has no value except the value ascribed by us. Say, look, what speciality is there in the gold? But what is the value of the gold? You know, what is the, it goes on increasing. Now tell me, who had given this value for the gold? Man. It is the man who has given the value for the gold. So therefore, it is we give value for the Vishaya Jagat. And unfortunately, we get oppressed by that because of our ignorance and total dependence on the Jagat, to which we ourselves are giving the value. So therefore, just as the space is free from everything empty, so also the Jagat is nothing but Shunyam, is it is asara. There is nothing that you can aspire for it. Because what you need is asti bhati priyam. Existence, knowledge principle, happiness. The Jagat is nama rupa only. Just a name and form. There's no sara. Sara essence is you. Continue.
तण्डुलस्य यथा चर्म यथा ताम्रस्य कालिमा नश्यति क्रियया विप्र पुरुषस्य तथा मलम्.
Now, fine. It may be so. But we have to get rid of this wrong notion, is it not? How to get rid of that? See, look, your wrong evaluation of the Vishaya, your wrong concept that the Vishayas have got capacity to make you happy is because of your not knowing your Swarup. It is because of ignorance of yourself. And the result, because of ascribing reality to the Jagat, including your embodiment. So therefore, what you do? By appropriate and adequate efforts, get rid of this wrong notion. Get rid of this ignorance of yours, for which few examples are given. Vipra, O Brahmana Nidaga, Yatha, just as Tandula Secharma, Yatha, Tamrasya Kalima, Kriyaya Nashati, Tatha, Purushasya Balam, Nashati. Purushasya Balam Nashati. O Vipra, Nidaga, just as Yatha. Tandulasya charma. Your charma means husk of the paddy. You remove the husk and you get the rice from the paddy. Yasa Tandulasya charma. What you have to do for that? You have to put forth effort. Again, Tamrasya yatha, just as Tamrasya kalima. Tamra is copper, of any copper vessel or anything else. Kalima. Kalima means oxides. You know, copper vessel, you clean it bright and brilliant, next day again what happens? The oxides come and it become dull and in course of time become black. Means that it loses its shining. Tamrasya kalima. All these kriyaya nashati. Nashati means destroyment can be ended by kriya, effort. Tatha purushasya balam. So is the impurity of the man. Your impurity of man is what? Avidya. Balam stands for avidya, ignorance. So does the ignorance of man gets ended by Purusha Prayatna. By Purusha Prayatna. And what is that Purusha Prayatna? In ending the avidya, starts with sadhana chatushta sampatti. Shravana, manana, nididhyas. First, get the mind ready, take to inquiry of Atma Swarupa, and in that ready mind, discover your Swarupa as it is, free from samsara, Paramananda Swarupa. Tatha Purushasya balam kriyaya nashati. Kriya means prayatnena. By proper efforts for a sufficient long period, it will get destroyed. Continue.
जीवस्य तण्डुलस्येव मलं सहजमप्यलं नश्यत्येव न सन्देहः तस्मादुद्योगवान् भवेत्
Tandulasya iva jivasya sahajam api malam alam. Sahajan api, that alam is there. Anvaya tandulasya iva jivasya. You can take jivasya malam sahajam api alam nashyati eva na sandeha tasmad udyogavan bhav. O Nidaga, tandulasya eva, just like pounding. Mere pounding is not enough. You pound the paddy. Nowadays in the machine you put it. But afterward you have to winnow it. Is what? You have to separate the husk from the. So what they do nowadays by machine it may be, well, they just blow with the wind. The husk falls somewhere and the rice falls right below. That gets separated. Like this, just the rice is separated from the husk. So also, and another thing, This husk is something natural to the rice paddy. It has come into existence that way only. Likewise, this ignorance, though natural, so jivasya balam, this bala is avidya, sahajamapi, even though it is what? Natural. With you as an individual, it has come along with you. Even then, alam means totally, purnataha. Nashyati eva. It does get destroyed. It can be destroyed. The way out for destroying it. But in this context, Nidaga, don't have any doubt. No sandeha. There is no doubt whatsoever that is avidya can be destroyed. From time immemorial, the great masters have destroyed the avidya. That is why we are getting the Vedanta Shastra. Therefore, what you have to do now, Udyogavan Bhava. Please take two efforts, prayatna, as guided by Adhyatma Shastra, guided by Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, etc. With this, the 5th chapter is over. From what has been seen so far, it should be clear, mind free from sankalpa, mind free from Vishaya Chintana, is the receptacle wherein we can be face to face with our Swarupa. Or in other words, mind free from sankalpa, Vishaya Chintana, reveals us our Swarupa. So that means again, better give up totally this Vishaya Chintana in terms of I want this, I don't want that. Vishaya Chintana functions that two ways. I want this, I don't want that. And our whole life is centered on this. Want or no want. Say, better get it out of that. And when you get it out of that, what remains in the Antakarana is your Swarupa. Read first mantra, 6th chapter.
अंतरास्थां परित्यज्य भावश्रीं भावनामयीं योषि शोषि जगत्यस्मिन् लीलया विहरानघ.
So that means by acquiring a mind free from Vishaya Chintana, free from sankalpa, free from desire, and that mind has to be nirvikalpa, nirvishesha. That itself is called as nirvikalpa samadhi. There been what? You become aware of your Swarupa. That itself is Atma Prapti. That itself is Brahma Prapti. That itself is Parameshwara Prapti. That is now being discussed. Anagha, last word. Antarastham parityajya bhavanamayim bhavashrim, again parityajya yaha and swarupataha. Continue. Asi, saha, asi, asmin jagati, leelaya vihara, leelaya vihara. Anagha, sinless. See, that shows the qualification of a mumukshu. He must be a person who lived light of dharma and therefore what? Has exhausted or nullified all duritas, papas of the past. Managa, who was sinless, nidaga. Antarastham, antaha astham parityaj. Within astham parityaj. Parityaj, having your astha, your interest. What are those interests? Let me have this, let me not have that. I want this, I don't want that. So that way. See, that is antarasa. May I have this, may I not have that. That interest. Parityajya. And it is in terms of what? Bhavanamayim bhavashri. Again, parityajya. They have given up bhavashri, the glamour of Vishayas, which is purely bhavana, mere mental imagination. All your what? Values for Vishaya is only imagination of the mind. The glamour of Vishayas purely in terms of mental imagination. Parityajya, having given up. In that mind, wherein Vishaya Visheshas are not registered, so you are not thinking of that. You have nothing to do with that. You are totally out of its range, scope. Yaha swarupataha, see. Whatever that you are in that, getting exhibited in that antakarana, free from Vishayas. Saha asi. That is what you are. Means that is what your true nature is. And having discovered that, asmin jagati leelaya vihar. You conduct yourself in this world, leelaya. Leelaya means out as a sport, in the sense that is whatever that is necessary for the sustenance the body until your prarabdha gets exhausted, be only in that. Don't get involved in anything else. Just dwell on your swarup. Just dwell on your swarup. Leelaya. Leelaya means until the prarabdha gets over, only take to those bare minimum means to sustain your body. Because you have to attend to the body. Rest, give it up, be absorbed, abide in your swarup. This is how you have to conduct yourself. This is continue. Om.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्ताम् मार्गेण महीं मही गो ब्राह्मणेभ्य शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः मरणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असौ मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः श्री गुरु